This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everybody. Now, we've probably heard this phrase before that you got to let it out. You got to let it out. And many of us don't when we're dealing with a situation. We hold it inside. That, without our knowledge, is really holding us back from living the life that we want to. And there are many different ways for letting things go, purging. What are we talking about here in terms of holding on to things? We're going to get into that. And also how you can release those things through intentional breathing, specifically somatic breathwork. She's an expert in that as a practitioner, and she's also a massage therapist. And it's so great to have Sue Love back on the program with us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me back.
So much to talk about here when we talk about holding things inside. Do you feel that we're all doing it? In some way, some shape and form, there is something that we're holding on to.
Yeah, I feel like when we come into this world, we're shut down. We're told to be quiet, stop crying. Why are you crying? Don't cry. And when we get to be adults, we start apologizing for crying. And we end up just shoving it all in and not expressing it, and it's really, really unhealthy for us. And we're also told that it's weak to cry, it's weak to show your emotions, but actually it's actually shows a lot of strength and courage. So yeah, we all do it.
I was watching an episode of the show Schitt's Creek. I don't know if you've ever seen it. And there's one episode where they're in the next room, and this is the neighbors, I forget his name, but the mayor of the town, and he keeps playing this song over and over again. It's by Melissa Manchester, came out in the 70s. It's called Don't Cry Out Loud. And he was listening to it because he was upset. He had a fight with his wife, and those lyrics, don't cry out loud. I can't sing. Technically, those words, what a horrible song. Cry out loud. We forget that we were designed to cry, that when tears come out of us, there's chemicals that are getting released. I don't know if this is true, but we're the only mammal that cries. I believe that's real. And we were given that as a gift, but we don't use it, right?
Yeah, we don't. And the thing is, I spent decades holding in so much trauma, so many emotions, so much emotional pain that never got expressed. And when we do that, we are shutting ourselves off from ourselves. We're numbing out, and we're cutting it all off, and we're shut off from here down. We stay in our head, and we lose ourselves because we're covering up who we truly are, because we're cutting it off. We're not feeling our feelings, so we're not connected to ourselves. And it creates disease. It's a killer. It really, really is. It creates so much stress in our body. Our body has to work overtime to hold it all in. And we suppress, we repress, it causes depression and disease in our bodies. And the other thing is that, when we're going through something painful, what is the most important thing that we need in that moment? What is it that we desire in that moment? Is it not to be seen, to be heard, to be validated in our pain? And when we shove it down, nobody can validate us because we're shutting it down, and we're not validating ourselves. When we don't express our emotions, we are not seeing ourselves. We are not allowing ourselves to be loved by ourselves and to be seen and validated. I can't tell you how many decades I spent trying to get validated in all different ways. Because when you hold it in for so long, after a while, you don't feel valid as a person. you know?
Wow.
So you can't really expect other people to see you and to validate your pain if you're not even doing it for yourself. You're just shutting it off and shoving it down.
Ooh. I never realized that we're doing ourselves a disservice by not processing it. And we probably think that we're doing the right thing by just making it go away. Just I'm gonna, yeah, I use the analogy, the emotional backpack. I'm just gonna throw it back there and zip that up and just carry it with me. I don't even know it's there because I'm so used to carrying it. Meanwhile, you're almost gonna tip backwards because there's so much in the backpack. But we think we're doing a good thing by best description, ignoring it, right?
Yeah. I
Mm.
know. I just heard somebody close to me not long ago. Somebody asked her, or she was saying that she keeps the noise going all the time. She keeps the music going, the TV going. She always has noise going on. And somebody asked her, "Well, why? You don't want to be with yourself?" And she says, "Oh, hell no. I don't want to feel what's going on inside of there. I don't want to know." And that's the state that we get ourselves into, but what you're not knowing is who you truly are. Because when you shut off your emotions, you're shutting off your humanity, you're shutting off who you are as a
Mm.
being, you know? And so we become so disconnected.
Well, sadly, we're good at
Yeah,
it.
yeah. This whole
You know?
society's set up that way, and it's all part of this keeping us in a space of feeling like we're not good enough. We're not good enough to even feel our own feelings. Come on now.
Hmm. I, I I really believe that because we're creatures of habit, it becomes a habit to not let it out and not process it. It becomes your normal way of life. Honestly, in my journey, I've gotten to the point, and part of it's a good thing, of when things present, something may come up. I'd be like, oh my gosh, what's going on with that? In the past, we go back like 5 years, I'd be freak mode for like a day, maybe a week. How am I can't believe now. I turn back a half hour later, like, why was I even worrying about that? Part of me says that's a good thing, that don't let things get to you. But then on the other side, as a habit, maybe we don't, if others do that, don't process fully those more emotional type things that come up. What's the starting point here? When something troubles you, maybe makes you sad, maybe it's an ongoing situation to present it again, and there's emotion that comes along with that. How do we not hold on to things, but let them go in a most productive way?
Yeah, well, it goes down to the breath. When something comes up for me, first of all, taking things personally and blowing things out of proportion. I mean, I think that happens because we don't express ourselves all the time, which creates an unhealthy environment within us. Because, like I said, we don't feel valid. So then we become defensive and we take things really personal. So that's a whole nother subject. But when something stressful or hurtful is happening, I personally have gotten to a place where I become conscious of what's going on within me. I become conscious, oh, I just got triggered. And
Mm.
why? Why did that trigger me? And then I think about it, and I think it always relates to something from the past, and then you take that apart and go, why am I still bothered about this? And then you try to get down deep with it to get to that belief that maybe was created in that traumatic thing that happened in the past, so you can let it go. There's all kinds of ways of letting it out and simply just letting yourself feel it. Wow, and acknowledging it. Wow, that really hurt. That
Mm.
hurt.
Mm.
And then and you feel the tears coming up and you don't stop it. You don't keep that lump in your throat. You let it out. Just let the tears flow, and then you breathe through it and you tell yourself, okay, I'm okay. I'm safe. I'm good. I love myself, you know? And it takes
Mm.
time to learn how to do that. And that's where somatic breath work is so amazing, because it's the innate intelligence of our body is our nervous system is designed to keep us safe. It's to alert us of threat, and it takes you through the trauma response. That's the natural innate intelligence of our body helping us to, number one, have the adrenaline, the energy to fight or flight, face a situation.
Yep.
And then the breathing that kicks in to control your nervous system so that you can process your emotions and release them in the moment.
Hmm.
And it's not about screaming at someone or saying mean things. It's about just literally letting yourself feel it and acknowledging, wow, that really hurt me. And then being able to cry it out, shake it out, whatever it needs. You maybe need to go for a run, maybe you need to hit a punching bag, whatever, to let it out and then let it go. And the breathing part of it really, really helps you to come down from it because it elevates. When you're really upset, your heart rate is elevated, your adrenaline is rushing. And so when you learn certain breathing techniques, you can bring yourself down from that so you can get to a calm space where you can really see clearly what's going on with you and maybe the other person that's involved in the situation.
What? And I'm on your page with the breathing thing, like so many times, even on a daily basis. I'll just take a moment, like just breathe, deep breaths, reset, continue. What is different about somatic breathing?
Well, the whole point of somatic breathwork, soma meaning the wholeness of our being, the whole point of it is to get you out of your head and reconnected with your body. So it's reconnecting the wholeness of your being, right? Getting you all put back together so you are now conscious of what's going on in your body. And so the first half of a session would be heavy breathing. Like when you get into a trauma state, like say you're driving down the road and you almost get in a really bad accident, what's the first thing that your body does? Oh my God. Oh my God, that was awful. That's your body. Okay, your sympathetic nervous system has been ignited. And now after that, once that breathing stops, what happens then? You, whew, man.
Yep.
And that's where your breath works with your nervous system. So your breath is now bringing your nervous system back down into the parasympathetic, the calm state. So I use it all the time. I use it to be able to go to sleep when I lay down. Any anxious thoughts or anything comes up, I do the slow breathing. I do it several times and it calms my heart down and I can sleep better. I use it when I'm in a situation where something's triggering me, something's getting me upset. I use that breathing. I calm myself down so that I can think clearly about what's really going on. Yeah, it's really super powerful.
Is it almost like you're parenting yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Because child has something going on, mom, is a baby, could be 2 years old. You're reaching, you want that comfort. You're comforting yourself. Is that really what
Yeah.
it is? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It 100%. It is important for us to parent ourselves,
Mm.
especially if we didn't have good parents, parents that could love us the way we needed to. It's
Hmm.
extremely important to parent ourselves. We live in a world that tells us to put ourselves first is selfish. You're selfish.
Yeah.
But why? I should be the most important person in my life. And when I am, and when I love myself to that extent, guess what? My life is amazing.
Hmm. And so are those around you.
Yeah, my energy is high. I'm attracting all kinds of beautiful things into my life. But when I'm not connected to myself, when I'm not allowing myself to feel things, then my energy level is not high because I'm not in a state of love. I'm not showing love to myself. So I'm not projecting love into the world and it dims your light, right? And in this time that we're living in, the most important thing is for us to shine our light into the darkness in this world right now. And the only way that we can do that is by freeing up. Because like when you put, like you said, the backpack, when you're shoving all that stuff down, it dims your light. It covers up who you truly are because you're here all the time. How do you know you if you're here all the time, right? So you got to clear up that space so you can have some relief. Holding on clogs your brain. It weighs you down. It's so heavy, and it's a burden that you don't need to carry.
I have to believe, since we're so complicated as species, that we keep the score. The body's keeping the score. Your mind is keeping the score. So all that stuff that's in the backpack back there, even though you think that, yeah, I just threw it back, I'm going to worry about it. You took inventory. You know every item in that backpack, whether you
Mhm.
know it, you're conscious of it or not. You're aware of it. So your subconscious is holding all of that stuff, and then something presents, call it a trigger. And now we make a connection back to what's in the backpack, and all that heaviness is just weighing on you. I had a situation yesterday, pulled into a convenience store parking lot, just about to get out. I open my door. This pickup truck comes barreling in I- by probably a quarter of an inch, would have taken my door off. And I'm like, and I'm low key, but I'm thinking to myself, what the blank is going on? What were you thinking? It's not my fault. I didn't even know that the thing came in so fast. I couldn't have even looked to not open the door. It wasn't even there when I looked. And I got out and I'm walking to the front door of the store and I'm thinking, what should I do? What should I do? And part of me was, I can't hold on to this. I have to say something. If it's not me, it's going to be the next person. So he starts walking behind me. I'm about to hold the door for him. And I just said, hey, dude, I just want to let you know, you almost took my door off. Like you came in hot, barreling through. Just want to make you aware. And he's like, oh, yeah, I didn't even know that. I'm really sorry about that. Whether it was heartfelt or not, at least it was recognized. And I'm not still holding on to it. But I could have gone, hours after that, like, like, how could somebody be not aware that they're pulling in, seeing a door open and all of that? But I got rid of it. It's gone. It was gone, 5 seconds after, I said my words and that. And I was nice about it. There wasn't anything wrong with it.
Good for you. Good job.
How to get rid
Yeah.
of it. Couldn't hold on to it.
Yeah, and the other part about it is that when we hold on to stuff for a long time, you're right, it doesn't go away. It's kind of like eating a big old bacon cheeseburger and having it sit in your stomach for years and never digest. It's just going to putrefy,
I'm
right?
I'm having one tonight. Thank you very much. I'm not kidding.
But yeah, I mean, it just rots. It rots and it turns into self-hatred and a whole lot of rage, right?
Mm. Can we go
So
back to what you said initially? Because it's so much great stuff here revealed, but I want to go back and put a big spotlight on what you said in the beginning about how we are doing an injustice to ourselves by holding on to things. Explain that again and what's actually going on there.
yeah, because you know, you want to be seen and validated for your pain, but you're not allowing yourself to feel your pain and to see it. So you're not seeing yourself. You're not validating yourself. And
Mm,
then what I've learned in searching for so many years for validation, that when you hang on to stuff, you start not just you become upset about not just being validated for a certain thing. You start feeling not valid as a human, as a person, right?
mm,
But it really comes from you not validating yourself, not caring and loving yourself enough to allow yourself to feel your feelings, to have your moment, to say, yes, that hurt me, and to be able to release it. And it damages your self-esteem,
mm.
you
We don't
know?
see any of this. This is completely off everybody's radar. We don't see that we're internally hurting ourselves by
Yeah.
not letting go of things. And there's so many different excuses, no judgment, but it could also be somebody's done you wrong and you feel like you need to say something, even in the car situation from yesterday. Um, I don't want to trouble anybody. I don't want to start trouble with anybody, whatever. And I'm not suggesting start in with somebody, but you need to release it somehow. Many different ways. Journal it, write a letter to somebody, rip it up. At least it's energetically released from you. Are there other methods, things that we can do to get rid of things?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, all of the things that you said. You gotta confront it. Not in an aggressive way,
Yeah.
because that will just stir things up. But again, the breathing helps you to calm down, to see it clearly, to see how you can deal with the situation, whether it needs a conversation or maybe it's just something that you can just let go on your own. So the important thing about this is it's not just the breath work. So in a somatic breathwork session, the first half is heavy breathing, letting it out. The second half is repatterning your brain. Because when you hold all that stuff in, what happens is you develop a lot of behaviors, habits, ways of thinking, ways of reacting, that come from holding all that stuff in that are not necessarily healthy. So when
Mm.
you let it all go, then the second half of the session is repatterning your brain. So it's a dual thing, the breath, but also talking to yourself, filling that space with something positive, of self-love, gratitude. How do I want to feel? Who am I really? And who is my authentic self? And how do I want to live my life? And what kind of a life do I want to have? How do I want other people to feel in my presence? So all of those kind of things, you talk to yourself. When I have something stressful or traumatic happen to me now, I do my breath work, but at the same time, I'm in my head saying, I'm safe. I love you. You're okay. We can let this go. You got to talk
Mm.
to yourself to rebuild those neural pathways into a healthier place so that you can have all that you desire in your life.
So many
You
of us walk around feeling unworthy, whether we realize it or not. And we feel even more unworthy from not allowing us to purge this stuff. I want to share this. I've used it before. It's 3 sentences. I think it's in line with what we're talking about here. When you're challenged by something, I am not my thoughts. I'm not my emotions. I'm safe in this moment. And it's just a rewiring of your brain. What do we want to feel? Safe, no matter what. There's a reason we hold on to things, I believe. It doesn't feel safe. Like I'm afraid. Like what could happen? I bring that up again, even internally. It's going to be uncomfortable. I don't want to feel that. I want to feel safe. I'll throw it in the backpack. I'll just keep going. Um, what you just said, I didn't even realize about the breath work, that it gives you clarity to deal with it. It may not necessarily be the magic pill to help you release things, but you're more able to deal with it using that breath work. How do we find you, Sue? How do we
know,
connect with you?
I do think that it's a magic pill.
Well, I'm not
It is
saying it's not.
magical. It's super. The sessions that I have had is super magical. People have all kinds of amazing experiences. So yes, you can get a hold of me, sbwsue62@gmail.com. My website is heartandsoulbreath.my.canva.site. I know it was not correct the last time on the screen, so maybe we can get that changed.
All right, so give me that again because I see it. I see it in two ways here. So it's heart and soul breath
Yes,
dot my dot canvas site
canva.site.
dot site. Gotcha. All right. Thank you for today. Again, further shows the evidence of how important breathing is. Call it breath work, whatever you want to call it, and how it can change your life. And if you're looking to unpack things, take things out of the backpack, start there and connect with you, Sue. Thank you so much for today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve. Always
Thanks.
appreciate you.
Likewise. We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals. This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.